And there, we go down to Wilmington. We then go and stop over there in Pawleys Island. Oh, Lord. I must let you go and know this. One who go and crack your teeth say, let the children know who we for being, like queen or spirit. It's the queen mother of the Gullah Geechee nation. She said that they are at Geechee Kunda, the home of hope. She said, let them know that Queen Quet sends a greeting. And so we bring the greeting from Queen Quet, but back to Pawleys Island. We're going to look at the Gullah Orman. The Gullah Orman who carry on tradition. Oh, Lord. Just like when we speak of rice, that is what they do there in Pawleys Island. Oh. Tre Pawal, Tre Pawal. All Ilaye Gola Kisi. Three words. Old capitals of Gullah Geechee culture: Savannah, Georgetown, Charleston. Why Charleston? Because it's the black gold capital of the U.S. And then Savannah is the cotton capital of the world because they set the cotton prices right there on Factors Walk. That is right off of River Street. That many don't even know why the street is called Factors Walk in the Gullah Geechee land. And then we look to Georgetown, South Carolina, the rice capital of the U.S. and of the Atlantic world. Because Africans there go and do the rice dams and the rice stacks. They produce more rice than any other place, only rivaled by the Pacific Rim. Oh, Lord, I should let you know this. In one part of Carolina, in the Gullah Geechee land, that when you go and look at the Great Pyramid of Egypt, where the Geechee people, oh, Lord, when we say Geechee, you later call them Geechee. When we say Gola, you say Gala. See, not even understanding the origin of it, people, that we are an ancient people coming from East Africa even. But then back to what they go and say, the Great Pyramids of Egypt, that is nothing compared to the rice dams and the rice dikes and the movement of earth and the transformation of land that the Gullah Geechees do just in one part of Carolina. That's not even the whole corridor. That one part of Carolina, that they have, Africans have moved more earth than even the Great Pyramid of Egypt. That we people come here with the knowledge in our minds, in our hearts, and in our souls. And there in Pawleys Island, Angel Rodriguez, Bunny Rodriguez, the Gullah Orman and her man, they be right there. Then we go to a place called Charleston County, that for me. And then when we are there in Charleston County, we go in here, Liberty. We go there in Charleston County by Interstore. We go there and we begin to hear the Africans now waving banners in the air, saying liberty, liberty. And those Africans have gathered on the river. They have gathered on the river and now they're playing their djembes, they're playing their saku, they're playing their dandos, playing their talking drums. They are now letting the Africans know this is our march for freedom shall begin. Right there, that some people call Stono. The rebellion, we say, is the Stono March for Freedom, where we see Africans in Charleston County. And then we see the Papists and the Papists. Y'all familiar with Papists or Papists? Oh, I ain't gonna go. We should let you know this. Some people think that Africans are brought here to be Christianized. Wrong. We people know Yesu and Isa in Africa. Yesu and Isa are two of the names that they call Jesus in Africa. So when Africans come across the water, they come with the knowledge of God with them, and they bring in spiritual philosophies with them also. And there, those who say Yesu and Isa, they are right there, some of the leaders of their movement that is right there on the Stono River. They are Papists or Papists. Papists or Papists is another, oh, who here is from Georgia? What did they say with the 4 prohibitions that Oglethorpe say would not be allowed in Georgia? Y'all don't know your Georgia history? The Oglethorpe, right, say be no rum,
no slaves,
no Africans, which will be alive, but we'll get to that later. Then also say be no lawyers in Georgia, and no Papists or Papists, another name for Catholics. And who's on the Stono River? Who are some of those who are leading this? They saying liberty. They are Papists or Papists. But guess what? They're not Papists or Papists out of the United States. They are Papists or Papists out of what you call the Congo. They are Africans from Angola, some call them. That they, Jimmy and the rest of them, some of them are Catholic, oh Lord. That some of the Africans who be brought here are Christians already in Africa before they're brought here. They are the Bakongo people. And the Bakongo ones are the ones who go and rise up the Stono March for Freedom. Then we go to Charleston proper. We go to the Emmanuel AME Church. And there we go and see one of the greatest ceremonies to take place of Africans when they go and bring about their freedom. But one of them right down to IAT And he said, President Boye, send men up here to free the Africans here in Charleston, Denmark, DC. And some don't even know that President Boye has sent money up here to the United States so Africans will leave out of the U.S. They're now settled in Haiti. And there, we travel on out of Charleston, the land where we see liberty and freedom, where they say, Ileaye, the city of life. We then travel on down to Beaufort County, to the northern part of Beaufort County, and we see with Queen Mother, Queen Quet, and we hail her on that soil day. But then we go to the land, oh Lord. See, some don't even know that when you talk of your black history, you talk of the black history that the first Africans in this country at Jamestown, Virginia, that would be a lie. The first Africans in this country are on a battle, and Gala battle means boat, and they are with the Spanish background. And those Africans and the Spanish pass by a place called Georgia, and they go to Sapelo Sound in Georgia, but we don't know where the Africans in the Spanish land was Sapelo Sound. Then they go by a place called Tybee by Savannah. Then they continue on up to a place called Islos de Osos, the island of the bears, that some people call Trench Island, that most of you know as Hilton Head. The Africans in the Spanish land, they're on Hilton Head. And at some point, the Africans continue further on up with the Spanish, but they fight for their freedom. Africans are free in South Carolina or Georgia, 1526. Some almost 100 years before, some 1619, Jamestown, Virginia. We said the Holy Land of Africa, America is here. And that right there, we go across the water, the Grande River, the Westabu River, the May River, the Nsonga River. All of those are names of the Savannah River before it was called Savannah. And then we go to Yamacraw Bluff. And there in Yamacraw Bluff, we see 20 Africans brought out of Charleston, another 4 brought out of Beaufort to help lay out the streets and the squares in Savannah. So that's why when they say James Oglethorpe said no Africans will be here, when you are standing in the middle of Savannah, in historic Savannah, you are standing on African handiwork and engineering. What does that tell you? That Africans have mathematics and engineering skills even in captivity. And there, we then travel on down. We look to another place where the Africans are brought to help lay it out, called Darien, Georgia. And there in Darien, Georgia, we then further go down to a place called Brunswick, Georgia. We see Africans there also. Then we go, we didn't go see, y'all ever hear the Underground Railroad? Which direction did the first Underground Railroad go? To go north? You too late on that now. The first Underground Railroad ain't go north, it goes south. It goes south to a place called Gracia Real Santa Teresa de Mose, Fort Mose, which is right outside St. Augustine, Florida. That is the first free place for Africans in this country. So the first, that is in the 1690s and the 1700s. That is what is going on Stono. When the papers there in Charleston say they are going to free all the Africans from Charleston County to Georgia on down to Fort Mose. And that there on the first Underground Railroad we go. Then we step to the largest Geechee city in the world. And some don't even know what it is, because even if you ask them, they don't even know. Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville is the largest Geechee city in the world. And we go down there, we see with people. Then we, even while we down there, we see the Seminoles. And I know if I ask you Seminoles, y'all probably gonna say Florida State, but I ain't what you're talking about. Some don't even know that when they hear Seminole, that is corruption of the Spanish word Cimarron, which means run away. And who are the first Seminoles? African Seminoles. Even the Native American Seminoles don't even let you know about the African Seminoles. And where they come from. In the 1800s, there's an Ohio congressman by the name of Joshua Giddings who writes a book on the Seminoles that is titled The Exiles in Florida from Georgia and South Carolina, the Africans. And when you look at a place called Jessup, Georgia is named for a general who fought against what he said was not a Native American war, but it was an African war. The Gullah Geechees who are left out of this area going down to Florida that you now call the Seminole War. And there we go and see the African Seminoles. And we even look at them and we see them in Nacimiento de los Negros, a city in Mexico that is comprised of Africans who came out of the Gullah Geechee land to La Florida, then go on there to Mexico. Oh Lord, that rooster done crow. And it's time for this soul to go. But we leave you with this. We say, in Kose Sekelele Africa, why banning only Africa, why I can ban me? Say war fina, say kofa a yenke. That is, God bless Africa, and God bless the children of Mother Africa, the African family. And we go and say, go back into your past and reclaim that which has been misplaced. Vazina said, family too. The neighbor is your family too. And we are one family. Oh, let's go.